Great Master Xinhua, all good monks and nuns, and all good new advisors are made for. 诸佛菩萨、净量大士、师父、上人各位、出家人各位、善知识弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư, Thượng Thiên Hoa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện sức A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 4th of July in the United States of America. Happy 4th of July everyone. We are here at GoForce to discuss the prologue to the Avatamsaka Sutra. We're right now on slide 1447. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to be here with you. As some background information, typically we learn the Chan Dharma from Master Xinhua in the Chinese tradition. Thank you very much. And typically the Master Xinhua started something wonderful. He has something that most temples don't have. He has Dharma talks every single evening. Meditation is not simply just crossing your legs. Meditation is also learning a Dharma. Crossing your legs build your samadhi power. Listening a Dharma opens or plants the seeds for your prajna wisdom. Okay, so this is very important. This is what you ought to remember when you pick another place to learn your Chan Dharma. Okay, you need to have both. You need to have sitting, and you also need to have listening as well. Okay, and so typically in a Chan Chi, we only do Dharma talks, but I think we started doing this like 7 years ago. I realized that my disciples started surpassing Master Xinhua disciples. So I had to do something different because I wanted to go more into certain teaching than Master Xinhua did. And so we started lecturing on sutras and keep maintaining the schedule for sutra lectures, which we do 3 times a week. Friday nights, Sunday afternoon, and Saturday afternoon. And so during the Chanchi, we also keep up that schedule, okay, because I feel that it's very, very important. Personally, when I learned the Dharma, I only had Master Xinhua's cassette tapes to go on and his books translated into English, which his disciple did a fantastic job. In particular, I like the translations of the Prologue here. I like the translation of the Avatamsaka Sutra. I like the translations of the Shrangama Sutra. Those, Shrangama Sutra was sort of the Bible for me to practice Chan. I never had a chance to ask him questions like you are given the chance nowadays, where you ask questions anytime, anything, okay, about anything during these Dharma talks. But it's because I had so many questions when I listened to Master Xinhua's Dharma talks. I never could get an answer, straight answer from his disciples. And so I'm giving you this chance here, which I never had. And so how did I study? I studied by listening to his Dharma talks over and over again. And I don't mind sharing you my little secret. My little secret is that even though I couldn't understand the Shrangama Sutra explanation of his, but from listening to the sutra itself, I picked out ways to cultivate that he didn't teach. So it helped me take another path, different from the way he trained his disciples. Okay? And so, in other words, Master Xinhua is conditioning me to get into cultivation, but actually it's the Buddha's Shrangama Sutra that really brought me to where I am today. In particular, now that I'm here and I'm teaching you, I'm learning, I appreciate more of this prologue here, to be honest with you. When I read it about 17 years ago, 20 years ago, more like 20 years ago, I first started, I read everything that was translated into English. I couldn't understand anything. I was terrified of this prologue here. And I said, if I'm preparing to be a monk, a Dharma master, I'm supposed to lecture on sutras. That's our tradition. All monks and nuns, they're not supposed to do Dharma talks only. They're supposed to lecture on sutras because they're very, very important. I hope that you, when your time comes, you invest the time, and you might as well do it now because I give you another 20 years. Then I disappear. Then I retire, to an island. I'm an island person. Okay? And so you should be lecturing on sutras to pass on your knowledge. Okay? And this is very, very important. Don't simply do Dharma talks alone, because Dharma talks are a lot more shallow than the sutras themselves. Okay? And so now, as I look at this prologue here, I love it. You know why I love it? I love it because whatever I figured out, okay, is actually, the basis of that is being explained here in this prologue by Master Hsuan Hua. So it's not like he didn't teach, okay? It's that our generation, we didn't understand it. Okay? So to me, it's such a revelation. So I love the prologue here. And I'm sorry I had made the announcement I will cut it off as soon as this door number 2 is over, because the translation is such a pain for us. We don't have the means to translate it, like my masters. They are staffed to do translation, and I really don't understand why they're not doing more of that or focus their resources on doing more of that, because they are by far the best in the world. And yes, and there's some limitations. 85%, 80% of the content is very good. The 20% is because they don't understand what Master Hsuan Hua was explaining. So you can't blame them. But they have languages like Sanskrit, Chinese, English, and those are the key things you need to have mastery of when you do translation. Of course, the main thing is samadhi power. You don't have samadhi power, you cannot penetrate the sutras meanings. This is why we do chant, because I'm hoping to help you build your samadhi power so that you understand the Buddhist teachings. It's no excuse. Without samadhi power, it's not possible. This is Buddhism's limitation. We can teach all we want. We can give you the whole Tripitaka. You can memorize the whole Tripitaka. But unless you build your samadhi power, you cannot penetrate through your obstructions, your ignorance. Is that clear? This is it. This is what Buddhism is about. Without samadhi, it's nothing that we can be as all well-meaning as we want, but you can only go so far. This is why I'm very scary, let me tell you. People don't want to see me anymore, because the first thing I look at you is your samadhi level, to see how much you can absorb. That's how I speak to you. And once I finish speaking to you, I speak to the other beings so that they can understand. They don't waste their time. So no monks and nuns want to see me, because they see me, I look at them first. Your question is stupid. I'm not going to explain to you, because you don't understand anyway. I'm not going to waste my time and your time. Okay? And so, why do I like the prologue so much nowadays? I'm really sorry I decided to cut it off. My disciples, they spend a year or two continuing door number 3. The English section here stops at door number 2, unfortunately. And if I were the second page, I would slap in the face and say, you better continue the translation. It's the best thing we can do possible, because no one as qualified as they are to do this work. You know, we struggle so much. We spend like 2 years. We have a group of people doing that, and they struggle. They bother me every single day. I say, I'm busy. I don't have time to help you. Okay? If I have to help you, I might as well do it myself. But anyway, but they understand Chinese, I don't. But the point is, why do I like it so much? I was preparing for the lecture tonight. Okay? I prepared this big speech tonight, and I hope you appreciate it. Anyway, I'm kidding. So why do I like it so much? I like it so much because if you aspire to be a Dharma master this lifetime and next lifetime, there's a lot of things here, he explains, that will help you become a better teacher. Because it helps you understand where people are stuck and what it takes to unstuck them. There's so much information here. It's fantastic. Okay? And so it gives me new tricks. As a listener, that's another way to help these losers. Okay? All right? So, and someday when you go back to Master Shenhua, so you can do it in Chinese. It's perfect. Okay? I hope that for some of you who are versed in Chinese, who are at a level of the patriarchs, okay, I will tell you which ones of you are who are Chinese. Below that, you don't understand. It's pointless. That new fashion. Now I feel like going to see the fireworks. I see fireworks in people's shirts. Okay, so it's very, very good. Master Shenhua, this is actually, I love it because it actually confirms what I've been doing the last 20 years when I teach you, when I help specifically certain people. But actually, it's a lot more going on than that. So study this, okay, boys and girls, all right, yes, Wei Mao.
Master, I have a question about the talk yesterday, where Master Shenhua explained that
I can't hear you. You have to speak up. I know you're all in samadhi. You all feel very peaceful, but I'm not, and my ears are plugged up. You have to raise the volume. You, audio, video people, you should be a lot more alert and then sitting there and be in peace and bliss. This is not the time to do that.
Master, I have a question about Master Shenhua said that Mahayana is all expedient Dharma. I think many of these expedient Dharmas survive the person who designed it and become conventions, rules, regulations, and customs. So how do I know if these conventions, rules, and regulations are still applicable today or they are outdated?
Your premise is wrong. Only because at your level, you don't understand expedience. Who said that expedience became conventions and rules and traditions? Expedients are expedients. Expedients are for the moment only, for the person only. Whether you call it expedient, tradition, it doesn't matter. It's still expedient. It defies, it transcends labels. So if you want to call it traditions, you want to call it known technology, known technique, it doesn't matter. Expedience, by the name, it means that It's just a rules to help you break through. Just a means that's only for you. You guys never took me serious when I said, I look at all of you. I have to look at your levels. And I say, what kind of experience we need to use to help you? In spite of yourself. Okay? If you're too stupid and fool yourself, I chase you away because you're wasting your time here. Go somewhere else where when you feel better, they treat you better. Okay? Wrong premise. One day you understand experience. Sometimes in Buddhism, the teachings are not for you. Therefore, when you hear the words of the sages like Master Shenhua, just memorize it. You don't understand, say, I don't understand this, let me shelve it. The worst thing you can do to yourself is to say, I disagree with this because I don't understand, because it goes against my values. It's like you disagreeing with the Buddha. When he taught the Agamas Sutras, he says, no, this is Hinayana. This is not Mahayana. I don't want to learn Hinayana. How dare you? How stupid can you be? When he taught Hinayana, it's for everyone, not the Hinayana people. It's no Hinayana, it's no Mahayana at all. Okay? All right, another question here from K YouTube. You see, that is typical of you, smart people, intellectual people, you got stuck on the words, and that's why it's very, very important for you to ask questions. That's what happened to me. I was intellectual. I loved the learning. So I had questions like his, and no one could answer me. Okay? Too afraid to look bad because you can't answer questions. If I can't answer you, I say, I'm sorry. This is a limit. I'm limited. I don't know how to answer you. That way you learn something about Buddhism, that we can be true, we can be honest, we can be direct. No need to beat around the bush. We're not here to try to get famous. We're here to learn from each other and learn from the Buddha's teaching, from the sages' teachings. If you think that I sit here, therefore I'm not learning and wasting my time. I'm not wasting my time, I'm learning, I assure you. Yes, K YouTube.
네, 강민석님의 질문입니다. 영화 선사님 안녕하세요. 입실 강민석입니다. 작년까지 보라 선언을 다니다가 어떤 계기로 선언을 안 다니기 시작했습니다. 저는 항상 선언에 가고 싶은데 주변 사람들의 반대로 못 가고 있습니다. 수행을 해서 번뇌를 끊고 싶다는 마음이 있는데 혼자서라도 수행을 해나가고 싶은데 어떻게 하는 게 좋을지 여쭤보고 싶어서 이렇게 질문드립니다. 감사합니다.
We cannot hear Korean translation.
Master, this question is from Korean YouTube. Hello, Master Yonghwa. This is Ipsil Kangminsa. Until last year, I have been attending JC, but due to certain circumstances, I stopped going. I always want to return to JC, but I haven't been able to because of opposition from people around me. I have a sincere wish to practice and cut off afflictions, even if I must practice alone. I want to continue on this path. So I wanted to ask you, what would I be the best way to do that? And that's why I'm writing to you. Thank you.
Okay, That's typical, and I'm sorry that you have such severe obstructions. We have a lot of resources online and a lot of classes online as well. You can take your pick. We have sessions on bowing, we have sessions on repentances, we have lectures, we have chant classes of various levels in various languages, because since way before the COVID, we started investing in online resources already. And so you can draw upon online classes. There's virtually classes every single day, I think. No? Am I correct? And even like during the 14 Chanchi, we also have extra. During the Chanchi, Master Z of WMT has mantra sessions, 1 hour every single day. That's also very good for you. There's plenty of resources for you to join in and tap into, okay, if you really want to draw upon that. It's going to be very, very useful for you. And so you can do that. So it's, as I just said a little while ago, cultivation is both practice and theory. Practice is, the jargon is practice is phenomenon, and theory is nomenon. All Buddhist practices must be based on that, because sometimes through doing chant, we get to understand the principles, or when you look at sutra, you listen to the sutras, and then you understand how to practice. So nomenon and phenomenon go hand in hand, okay? And so you have a lot of resources for you to do. So all you have to do is to spend time and allocate time in your daily schedule to do it discreetly without having to make the rest of your family worried. Is this a lady or a woman? A woman or a man?
He's a man.
He's a man. Okay, and he does have an edge. Men in your culture have more freedom, and yet you feel that you have opposition with people from your family members for you coming to the temple for you to cultivate. And how old is this person?
Master, he is just graduated university, maybe almost 27 to 28.
What?
Master, he just graduated from university. Maybe he's 27 or 28 years old.
Okay, so your family is Catholic. Christian. Same to me. Okay, so you have to find time to take care of yourself, okay, and you cultivate online. All right, that's one thing. Another thing too that's fundamental is that you don't have enough blessings, so plant more blessings. This is where it's very difficult for us to get to you for that reason. It's without blessings, it's very difficult for you to encounter the Dharma, and let alone trying to cultivate it. So therefore, you need to plant more blessings with Mahayana, with Buddhism. Okay? So figure out a way how to plant more blessings. And when that happens, your cultivation will reap more, will yield far greater benefits, and then you'll be able to engage more with the temple. There's no substitute for going to the temple. None. After doing this for 20 years now, I know there's nothing comparable at all. Only your karmic obstructions would prohibit you from going. And they plant these strange thoughts in your head that you listen to, only because you don't have enough blessings. Yeah. All right, thank you for asking. Oh yes, Wei Mountain.
Hello, Master Vietnamese YouTube have a question. Phu Ting asks, respectfully greeting to Master, I have a question. The 13th state of meditation to open the wisdom, but at the same time, do they also open any chakra? Thank you, Master.
I'm not aware of any 13 states to open the wisdom. It sounds like some form of non-Buddhist practices. What I learned from a Chinese system is no such a thing as 13 states. Okay, and I would double check, if I were you, I would double check my sources again. They may disguise themselves as Buddhists, wearing Buddhist clothes and put on Buddhist names or Buddhist appearances. But you should be careful as the source of such information. Honestly, nowadays, I don't waste time. I usually look at patriarchs, sources only. Okay? But if, so there's no 13 states for you to open wisdom. This is the kind of jargon that the Vietnamese, a lot of them are misleading. There's no 13 states. I don't know where you get that source from. Is it Hinayana or is it Tibetan? I'm not sure. But my Mahayana sources, which tend to include all of them, because we get to the core. We don't have time to beat around the bush. Do we know, anyone knows that 13 states? And 13 is a very unlucky number. Okay, so anyway, I'm not aware of any 13 states, as I said, and Buddhism doesn't need to go through 13 states for you to become enlightened. Buddhism can go through from zero to enlightenment in a matter of very fast, like this. Okay? Yeah. So, who needs 13 states? Are you kidding me? And that's for babies. Yeah. And therefore, further, that's point number one. Point number two, okay. Chakra again is a non-Buddhist concept. Okay. Yes, it's true there are some chakras in the thing, but only because at low level you see them like that. Much higher level, chakras are for babies. Okay? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I would. So, thank you for asking. My general answer to you is your sources of information is not that good. I would find other sources. I would dump those sources and stop wasting my time. Yes, Wei Mountain. Is there a comment, Wei Mountain?
Master, hello. Thank you for your answer. So I thought that the 13th state of meditation is the 4 state of form realm, 4 state of formless realm, and 5 state of the liberation or higher.
You're confused. Okay? Yeah. Again, I can go through this and dissect for you and tell you which one is valid, one is not valid. But the point is that If someone teach you about 13 states for you to open your wisdom, become enlightened, I would dump that person right away. It's a waste of my time. I'm not going to go into it. Okay? If you want to, find someone else to go into it, because to me, it's misleading information. Some of it's correct, most of it is incorrect, especially the portion that is most critical for you to open your wisdom is incorrect. That's why I dump it, not the low level. Low level is all the same. Yes.
마스터 어적.
Yes.
마스터 어제 아이고 죄송. 마스터께서 어제 마스터께서 어제 그 방편법에 대해서 설명을 하셨는데 그 부연 설명 중에 하나가 방편은 여러 겹으로 되어 있다. 그리고 가르침을 받는 사람은 그것을 의도를 알 수가 없다. 그리고 방편법이기 때문에 반드시 그 사람에게 도움이 되지 않는다라는 부연 설명이 있으셨어요. 네.
Master, I remember from yesterday you explained about expedient. And you mentioned about there are many layers, and then the subject should not know what's the meaning of experience, because knowing the experience doesn't help that person. Thank you.
근데 이제 제 질문은 뭐냐면 레벨이 낮으면 방편법에 대해서 질문하면 안 되는 건지, 마석께서 방편법에 대해서 질문했던 모든 사람들에 대해서 노코멘트를 하셨었고, 그 다음에 두 번째 질문은 방편법이 그 가르침을 받는 학생한테 반드시 도움이 되지 않는다. 그렇기 때문에 방편법이라고 하셨는데, 세라님 괜찮으세요?
Masters, so my question is, if someone is a lower level of samadhi, they should not ask any question about expedient. And also, yesterday you did not comment on any of the questions. So you also mentioned the subject who's asking about the expedient. It's going to be absolutely no help for them.
그러면 대승이
Stop. Don't go there. Okay, you're wasting your time. You can ask any questions, anytime. Let me decide whether I want to answer you or not. Because you're here, you make the effort to come and learn. So my not answering you is also an answer, because I want to help you save time. Like the man who just asked from Vietnam, and I see where it's coming from. Because the language is different. You see, from Mahayana, we use different terminologies. So when he said states, it's probably Hinayana or Tibetan. That's why they stuck at states. Because in Buddhism, in Mahayana, states is not something that we use. Okay? The proper term, maybe is a translation of English, is stages. And that's what the Tibetan do when they translate it. From Tibetan into English, they use the word stage. Like Dalai Lama, he taught about the stages of meditation and so forth. Okay, Hong, it's not states. I think that he means stages of meditation. And again, if your teacher talks about stages of meditation, about 13 stages and so forth, let me tell you, in Mahayana, we have 42 stages, not 13. It's like here, we're learning about, in the prologue, we're learning about the Hinayana teachings from a Xianshou school. So he's a Xianshou, he divides it, the great master divides the Buddha Dharma into 4 types. And the first type is Hinayana. He's very blunt. So Hinayana, this is what Hinayana teaches. And that's what Hinayana, the 13 stages of Hinayana that the Dalai Lama talked about, or someone in Hinayana talks about, is only because they don't understand. They only see 13. Actually, there's and the way they break it down, is so Hinayana, is so limited. In Buddhism, we have 42 based on the Avatamsaka Sutra, which is the mother of all Buddhist knowledge. Why do you think we teach you 42 hands and eyes? To help you break through those 42 stages. Don't get greedy now, Jumi. It's too late for you to start practicing 42 hands and eyes. Too late now. You got to start when you're 5. For you, yeah.
맞서 제가 안 그래도 참여를 하고 노력을 하고 있어요, 사실은. 그러니까 제가 그 42수안을 몇 개를 셀렉을 해서 제 생각할 때 핵심적인 것만 셀렉해서 한 게 맞고 이제부터는 전체 42번을 다 하도록 하겠습니다. 제 생각에는 맨 마지막 파이널 넘버가 다 포함하기 때문에 파이널 넘버만 5번 하면 충분히 된다라고 생각했었거든요. 네.
Master, I understand. I'm trying to repent and trying hard. My thought of selecting certain dharmas from the 42 hands and eyes, that was wrong, and I will start to recite all 42. It was my understanding that if I were to recite the last part of that mantra, repeat 5 times, that would be cover all the mantras. Sorry.
Okay, K-YouTube.
땡큐 마스터. 입전님의 질문입니다. 저는 되도록 살생을 하지 않기 위해 집에 벌레가 나오더라도 죽이지 않고 휴지로 조심히 집어서 밖으로 옮겨 놓았습니다. 그런데 최근에 아주 작은 벌레들이 여러 마리 나오는데 너무 작은 탓에 조심히 잡으려고 해도 죽어버립니다. 살생을 하고 싶지 않고 집에 벌레들을 그대로 놔두기는 신경 쓰이고 어떻게 하면 좋을까요? 감사합니다.
Hi, Master. I am Ipjeon Shin-young-soo. I have a question. In order to avoid killing, I try not to kill insects when they are appeared in my home. Instead, I carefully pick them up with a tissue and release them outside. However, recently, many tiny various bugs have started appearing, and because they are so small, even when I try to gently handle them, they end up dying. I don't want to kill them, but I am bothered by having bugs living in my house. What would be the best way to handle it? Thank you.
Can you move to a better house? Where there's fewer insects, like a high rise or something, so that you commit fewer offenses. And this is a typical, that's a good question, by the way. It's an act of passion when we try to avoid killing lives. But that's not, you're a lay person. That's not how I would practice that dharma, of non-killing dharma. Okay, it's unavoidable until you become a first stage arhat, where some of them are able to walk on air. They don't need to touch the ground because, as Master Shinhua says, because they have compassion, they don't want to even step on the microbes and kill them. Okay, and to me, that's extreme. When you cultivate, this is why we allow you to ask questions, because it saves you time. Because this Korean person here is obsessed about not killing. And that's what we call in Mahayana the obstruction of knowledge. You learn about the non-killing precept and you go berserk. You say, I'm not going to kill. You're killing left and right now. When you eat, when you drink a glass of water, there's 84,000 creatures. Now the next thing I teach you how to avoid killing microbes, you're gonna choose not to drink anything ever again? Is that what you want to do next?
Master, the person who asked the question, he says, it is difficult to move to another place.
Okay. Okay, but then if I help him with not killing, keeping the insects away from his house, will he stop drinking water? Because he's also killing a lot of beings there, 84,000 beings in a glass of water. Okay, so this is why it's so important. When I started learning, I had questions like this too. I said, "Oh my God, I'm killing so many beings. Oh my God, I'm breaking precepts. How am I going to be able to have wisdom? Because I'm violating a Buddha's precepts. What do I do?" And this is why it's very important for you to ask questions. It saves you time. I spent 4.5 years being so afflicted because I said, the more I learn, the more I said, my God, I have no chances at all. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. I fail constantly every day. I break precepts every day. I'm killing beings every day. So, to this person, don't worry about it. Okay? It's good that you try not to kill these beings. Okay? But for you, as a lay person, I would focus on not killing people. Okay. Killing microbes will not stop you in your progress towards wisdom. Killing people will. So if you avoid killing the big things, especially people and celestial beings, okay? Start with that, and you'll go for very, very far. I would not worry about ants right now or microbes right now, okay? Because yes, we're killing them like crazy, but they can't stop us. I hope it helps. Yes, YouTube. It turns out to be a question and answer evening.
Thank you, Master. There's a question here from Ding Tai. Hello, Master. Regarding the practice of the 42 hands and eyes, can it allow a person to progress to Buddhahood? Thank you.
Yes. Anyone else? This is a gift from Master Hsuan Hua. I need to clarify for you. He brought the Dharma with him to the United States and transmitted it to his disciples. Only a handful of people among his disciples are allowed to transmit it. Okay. So a lot of people who stole the information, there's a lot of information is available online. Some of them are even selling it, booklets, $5 a piece to explain to you what hand number 1 is, number 2 is, and so forth. If they resort to that, they are not allowed to do the transmission. Okay, I really was never officially received transmission from Master Hsuan Hua, and yet I transmitted to you because he told me to. Okay, because for the first 5-6 years, I was very polite and careful to his disciples. I said, because I'm going to train my disciples. I'm going to bring them to much higher level of samadhi, and then that they are, and I'm sending them over there and say, I request them for transmission for 42 hands and eyes, because if they didn't, the 42 hands and eyes will disappear. Okay? But after a while, when my disciples actually surpassed all his disciples, you know what happened? He said, you should transmit it to them. I said, okay, are you for real? So I said, are you a demon or something? Are you trying to get me in trouble? I was driving and said, this voice, because he talked to me every now and then, when I'm not drunk. I mean, I was driving, he said, you should transmit the hands and eyes to them. I said, is that you, Master? So I didn't dare. I said, the demons are so bad nowadays. They're getting between me and my Master. But eventually I got double confirmation, triple confirmation, and I transmitted to you. But then the next question I had is that I never really received transmission from him. How could I possibly transmit it to them if I never received transmission, or I'm allowed to transmit it to them? And finally, I understood that he confirmed for me that it's my hands and eyes, not his, that I'm transmitting you. Okay? So he has some, gets it from his source, I get it from my source. Oh. Okay, so that's why these hands and eyes here, there are a lot of people, they stole the information, it doesn't matter. They will get nowhere unless they have protection. You can steal all you want. I'll transmit to you all you want. But when I revoke it, you can't go far at all. You can't do much with it. Because without protection, without help, okay, they're useless to you. Shh, let them steal. See? Yeah. Yeah. When I tell you to use this so-and-so to do this, you're able to do it because you're authorized to use it. If you're not authorized to use it, you cannot do what you do. Period. So there's no point in stealing it. So every now and then I double check. I allow you to, you go fix the, the pink house. Did you do it? Okay, there you go. Okay. But he doesn't use the hands and eyes. Yeah. Don't have to use it yet. Okay, that's for the heavy hitting. You don't use it casually. Your Pu'an, it's nowhere near 42 hands and eyes. Okay, and so that's why we're not worried about you stealing a dharma at all. Okay, with Tao, I learned, I finally understood after 20 years of doing it, that without protection, these people, Master Shenhua disciples, you, me, we cannot practice these tantric dharmas. And let me remind you again, when I transmit the hands and eyes to you, and this is what they're not taught over there, okay? If you want to go very far with the hands and eyes, it's one requirement that Master Shenhua taught, but they never could get it. You cannot lie. You don't want to lie. If you lie, your hands and eyes are not that powerful. You transmit to them all you want. If they lie every day, and they lie to you, and they lie to me, good luck. They go nowhere. You hear? Especially if you lie to me, that's your biggest problem. No, I didn't do that, Master. You don't understand me at all. You're not hurting me, you're hurting yourself. I don't care whatever you do. I just teach you what you're supposed to do. So that's why, this is why my generation, they don't get it. It's a sixth principle. It says, do not lie. It's because of the hands and eyes. These idiots don't get it. You don't want to lie. We give you a treasure. And the requirement for you to access this treasure is number 6 principle. Do not lie. Shh. Don't lie to your master. You can lie to the salesman, but you cannot lie to the master. You can lie to your mother, you can lie to your father, but you cannot lie to your teacher. Shh. Yes, Wei Mao.
Hello, Master. Vietnamese YouTube has a question. Same person, Phu Ting asks, respectfully bow to you, Master. There's something that I do not understand. So I humbly ask for your compassionate guidance that if I'm ignorant, you're welcome to scold me, as long as it's helped me to see where my mind's stuck. So I would like to ask, according to you, that there is a path directly to see yourself nature. So that I don't have to go to all of these stages. So what is that methodology? If there is such that practice exists, how should I be able to practice it? Currently, I am practicing by contemplating the self-nature seed. He said in Vietnamese is quán chủng tự tự, tự tánh chủng tự. It's like in the Flower Adornment Sutra, but I'm afraid that I'm practicing it wrong, incorrectly.
Yeah, you're practicing incorrectly. Stop it. It's nonsense. The way to get there is to chant. Chant meaning not Thiền. Thiền is Hinayana. Chant is American chant. Even Chinese chant, and Master Hsuan right now, they don't understand. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm very blunt. I apologize because I'm getting too old to waste my time and my life. So you want to learn. First of all, when you want to learn, you don't want to say, "You're welcome to scold me." When you learn from me, you want to learn from me, I will scold you and beat you up when I feel like. I don't need your permission. Get that straight. Okay? Who are you to authorize me to beat you up and scold you? What kind of stupidity is that? You think I need permission for me to teach you the way I see fit to help? What's the best way to help you? I need your permission? Get out of here. You always pick up, you've been learning from the wrong stuff, picking up things from the wrong sources. That's why you're stuck where you are. You contemplate that whatever thing you're doing that with your Buddha nature, you don't even know what it is. How can you contemplate something you don't even understand what it is? What kind of nonsense is that? What is Buddha nature? You tell me. Do you know what a Buddha nature is? It's just a word. How can you contemplate something that you don't even know what it is? Don't you sit there and say, I'm contemplating my Buddha nature. Don't you ever ask yourself one of these days, what is it I'm contemplating in particular? Huh? It doesn't bother you that you contemplate something you have no clues what it is, and you keep on doing it day in, day out? What is the matter with you? You believe anything you're told, and you do that, and it's you making no progress. You really are getting nowhere, and you sit there year after year, day after day, contemplating nonsense. You're going to build a house. Cultivation like construction. You build a house, the first thing you do is build a foundation. Everyone has to do that. Your foundation is all wacko. Think about it. Okay? You're wasting your time. Find a better teacher. A real teacher who says you're doing it wrong. You don't pick up things from you read from internet or stuff and say, oh, this sounds so good. When your mind approves of it, 95% of the time it's wrong. Because you don't realize it's your mind, it's your knowledge that's holding you back, that's keeping you here in a wheel reincarnation. Not just you, even Pureland practitioners, they told to recite the Buddha's name by the Chinese, recite with xi nian or ji nian, recite with earnestness or with anxiety or desperation. I said, I laugh, my God, Amitabha Buddha never taught that. Whoever in the Chinese Buddhism ever created that thought? It's total madness. Okay? You pick up stuff that are totally full of junk, and then you decided that you know so much about Buddhism, you understand the jargon and so forth, and what you don't know is you're doing it wrong. Okay? You delude yourself into thinking you know and you're okay. I have a simple rule for you. You practice. Okay? Are you improving? If you're not improving, you're dying. You're regressing. Change course. Okay. We go back to the sutra now. Okay. 1443. We are discussing the Hinayana teachings. Master Shenhua, very interestingly, he says, he followed Master Qing Liang's prologue. He says, we talked about how the Hinayana people, they taught their followers about the 14 activity dharmas, non-interactive with the mind. And we go more, we have an overview very soon, this time or next time. And so we talked about so far 1 through 6, and now we do number 7. That's where we are. Okay, so 1443, he says the 7th non-interactive dharma is a life faculty. Again, okay, when my interest, when I explain dharmas or sutras to you, is a copycat from Master Shenhua, in the sense that what I love about his style of teaching is that his interest is to help you understand how to do it. Not just knowledge. Okay, so that's why, and he's the only one I found, the only person alive I found who's able to do that. None of his disciples could do that. And to me, it is why his Chinese Mahayana is dying. We need to help you understand or teach you how to do it, how to overcome your obstructions. Also, as I said in my introduction, a lot of this is in these principles behind it. That's why you aspiring teachers. You want to study this, okay? And if you who don't aspire to be teachers, these are seeds for you. This help you understand in the future, okay? So this is incredible information, let me assure you. There's no need for you to understand. If you get it, that's fine. You don't get it, again, shelve it. It's very, very profound information. And it's not about understanding. It's about we want you to plant the seeds of great wisdom like this, so that one day when they mature, you reap incredible benefits. So it doesn't matter who you are, okay? You could be very lowly, you could be a little bit crazy. We don't discriminate, okay? It's equal opportunities. You come, you're a bit off. We don't pick on you. Okay? You're allowed to ask questions. Okay? And when you're wasting my time, that's when I say, okay, I'm not going to answer that. It's not useful to you, to anyone. But it's okay to ask, you have the right to ask, okay? I have the right not to answer you. But do not ever underestimate these people. They may have obstruction temporarily, but if they don't make the mistakes of not giving the seeds a chance to mature, they can surpass you. Buddhism is a Mahayana cultivation is the way we teach you is non-linear. Okay, Master Hsuan Hua tends to go progressive state by states. Okay, and he is not until maybe it's because his disciples only can understand stages. Okay, but you at the level where if I teach you stages, you'll be bored to death. So I am teaching you certain leaps. Okay, so you never know. You cannot underestimate people. Okay, they may have 30 years, 40 years ahead of you, but with a certain dharma, you leap and you reach and surpass them any moment, if you give yourself a chance. So it's not, again, I stress to you, it's not about understanding. It's not about knowledge. It's what? It's the quality of the seeds that you're planting right now. And then when you harness enough blessings and you become gooder, that's when these seeds will mature. The seeds are always there. But unless you give them a chance to mature, they will never mature. Okay? Yes, Wei Mao.
Thank you, Master. I wanted to express my sincere gratitude to you for continuing to emphasize the sudden teaching. Over the time that I've cultivated with you, each time you bring it up, it provides me with hope and renews my commitment, because it gives me the thought that it could happen to me, no matter if my cultivation is going well or I'm struggling a lot. Just keep with it. Anything's possible. Thank you, Master.
You're welcome. Thank you for bringing it up. So that's why, and it's not talk, folks. Because let me give you something very specific for you, lay people and left home people in particular. You may see a new kid, a new nun coming in, especially you monks, new nun coming in, and all of a sudden she gets promoted over your head by me. That's my message to you. She's the one who gets a certain teaching and you don't. It's for anyone. It doesn't discriminate man, woman, or child, or ethnicity, or color, or whatever. There's no discrimination whatsoever. Therefore, it's for everyone. There's no need to be jealous, no need to be envious. Instead, be more humble. You're among the greats who are able to benefit from a certain teaching when you are not able to. They're doing something right that you're not. It's there for you to learn from them. Because when I explain to you, you don't get it. That's why you have to look around you. There are people around you who are able to benefit from this Dharma a lot more than you. You learn from them because you're doing something right. That's why my peers, they said, Yong Hua, he tells people's level. I used to do that more to help the initial levels. When I was at Lu Mountain Temple, my disciples, I wanted to speed them up so that they can go faster than Master Hsuan Hua's disciples. Okay, and I got that. Okay, and it worked. And so the reason I tell your levels, and now I do it in a different way by promoting you. I promote a woman to sit and walk in front of a monk. Just to tell you that this person has wisdom and you don't. This person's samadhi level and wisdom is higher than you. So there must be something that he's doing or she's doing that's right. You can learn from that. It's about results. There's no excuses. And they're not jealous. Unlike you, they're not jealous. He said, no. Master favors girls over boys. Guilty. If you boys are better, I favor you over girls. It's for you. They're doing something right. This is what I never had. I never had a chance to look at someone and say, oh, he's better, she's better. They had to terrorize me before I found out that they're better than me. They had to beat me up because I was too arrogant. So he used the Kung Fu. He said, no, you're not. I'm stronger than you. So, okay, you're stronger, but you certainly don't have more wisdom than I. I know more than you. I sit longer than you. And the bottom line is, folks, I teach you all the fundamentals already. It's not like I teach these people more of the people who are supposedly better than you, more than I teach you. I teach you all the same thing. They're the one who get more out of it because they follow my instructions. Okay? For example, I give you an example. You're crying again? Okay. I'll give you an example. The Chinese, they're stuck on this concept of purity. They said, I'm a pure monk. I don't get excited over pizza. I don't get excited over money. I'm pure. I don't touch money. I'm purer than you. Give me a break. Here's the bottom line, boys and girls. If your samadhi level is higher than hers, guaranteed you're pure. it's not possible for you to have higher level samadhis than anyone else, and you're not pure. That's not possible. No one ever taught you that, huh? So that's why I'm demystifying a lot of things for you. The Chinese confuse their own followers, that we're not going to let it happen to you. Okay? It's not Dharma age. Dharma age is for weak people who need the respect, who need the support for them to continue to live the rest of their lives and die in peace. You want. So that's why these this Chinese are so stuck in Vietnam, and all the Korean people are also stuck on the I'm pure, I'm pure. If you're pure, you think you're purer than me, how come your samadhi level is so low? That's why you still thinking of purity. Because you don't know how to do it. That's why you excuse it, I'm pure. I'm not greedy for money, I'm greedy for fame. If you're not greedy for fame, you're not greedy for money, you're not greedy for pizza, like me, how come your samadhi level is so low? Huh? And you think you're pure? This is why a lot of things I teach you is to demystify what the Chinese confuse their own followers. And we're not going to let it happen to you. Okay? You listen. And again, that's why, like the guy who asked, the Vietnam guy who asked, 13 steps or stages. It says right there as Hinayana information. That's, and that's Tibetan information. Okay, I think it's time to go for fireworks. I've been told. Yes, for.
Hi, Master. It's not the case that when you have high samadhi, it doesn't guarantee that you don't have deviant view?
Nope. When you're in samadhi, you won't have deviant views. When you're out of samadhi, you will have deviant views. That's why bodhisattvas also make mistakes. Only Buddhas don't, because Buddhas are always in samadhi. The Buddha samadhi, not just any samadhi. It's constant. It's 24/7 for Buddhas. But for the bodhisattvas, when they're not in samadhi, they make mistakes. They're prone to making mistakes.
So does that...
But don't tell the Asians that. The Asians will say, oh, bodhisattva, they are perfect. If they're perfect, they're not called bodhisattvas, idiots. They should be called Buddhas, not bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas are partial Buddhas, meaning sometimes they're Buddhas, and most of the time they're not. See, the Chinese won't ever dare tell you that. They think you want, oh, he's a bodhisattva, we revere him. Have you ever seen a bodhisattva when he's angry? Oh, you're not going to like it.
So does that contradict with the statement that you just said?
When he's in samadhi, he's pure.
No.
And he cannot get there unless he's purer than you.
When someone...
So someone to say, this guy is so impure and he's such a low level, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know how to get there. He doesn't know what it takes to remove his impurity where he's at right now to get to the level of purity. He has no business commenting it. He's an idiot. You worry about yourself. You don't comment about other people's purity.
So the purity is different from the possibility of having deviant view.
I'm sorry, again?
Never mind. I think I think I got it.
You're confusing me. Your impurity confuses me. Yes, you too. So
you,
many
Master.
impure people in the world.
You have a question here from Elisha. She's trying to figure out exactly what is sudden teaching. She has a question. Is it something like a breakthrough through somebody's mind to open it? It's like, let's say somebody controls what they think or what they let
No,
into.
don't go there. Let's not go there. If you want to know about sudden teaching, read the 6th Patriarch Sutra. It's all sudden teaching. All of it. And my teacher explained only a small section of it as sudden teaching. To me, 6th Patriarch is all sudden teaching. Okay? Go there and read it. Don't try to understand. Just read it. Yes, dear.
마스터 말씀대로 제가 경험을 해봐도 정말 삼매 레벨이 곧 그 사람의 그러니까 그 사람의 레벨이 곧 그 사람의 아이덴티티라는 거는 같아요. 네.
Master, with my experience, samadhi level is the identity of that person.
그러니까 무슨 말이냐 말씀대로 정말 레벨이 높은 사람이 좀 더 복을 많이 지었고 마스터 인스트럭션을 따랐고 또 스케줄을 따랐고 좀 더 손해를 감수한 것 같아요. 제가 봐도.
Let's not go there. You're wrong. JC.
네, 마스터 질문이 있는데요. 청정하다고 하는 것이 한국말로는 맑고 깨끗하다는 뜻인데 무엇이 깨끗하다는 것인지 생각이 없는 것인지 탐진치가 없는 것인지 궁금합니다.
Master, in Korea, when you talk about purity, it's clear and pure and clean. What does it mean, purity here? Does that mean no 3 poisons and no thought?
Yeah, simple as that. You can start with no 3 poisons. Your mind is free of 3 poisons. You have no greed, no anger, no stupidity. But that's not all of it. You can do that. Then we can talk about purity. Begin to talk about purity. Okay? And then the next level is no thoughts. Like the Chan school, no thoughts. And then another level I'm not teaching. When we talk on level of purity of bodhisattvas, at the 3rd level. Okay? So it's still purity. Yeah. But it has levels. That's why the Chinese choose to only explain about the first 2. And because they only explain the first 2, they don't explain number 3 for bodhisattvas, that's why it becomes so mystical. And that's why there's so much misunderstanding, especially because of that misunderstanding, the Sangha, the Sanghans can confuse you. they don't cultivate enough to understand purity, and they don't understand the process, and that's why, and it's okay. It shows their level. It shows where they're at. Okay, it helps us identify them quickly, so that we don't waste time with these people. We have standards. Okay. Again, the purity that the Chinese taught their own kinds and the Asians taught their own kinds is only first two. No three poisons, no thoughts. There's one more. But they're not teaching you. You're not teaching their own yet. Okay? It's only because they're not pure, and that's why the level of purity is questionable. And they are talking about purity. If Master Chögyam talking about purity, I agree with him. But his disciples want to talk about purity, they don't know what they're talking about. It's a sales pitch. When people talk about purity, I don't like it, because I look at the people who talk about purity, I see them as impure. It's so scary. It's the same monks, they say, oh, you're so impure, you're so impure, you're so impure. You know what it implies? That they're pure. Have you thought about it? This is what I fear. When I say, you impure, I know some of you are thinking, oh my God, Master is so pure. That's the last thing I want. My gosh, whether I'm pure or not is my business. Why do I need you to think about it? You see my problem? Does Master Chögyam ever talk about how pure he is? Never. He's pure because he's pure. When he gets angry, right? You saw him very angry, okay? You saw him very greedy. Doesn't mean he's not pure. Well, let me clarify. It doesn't mean he's not as pure as you are. Okay? It's less misleading for you. Okay, time for fireworks. There's a work, and tonight, yeah, right, honey? Yeah, fireworks. Thank you. I'm sorry I couldn't get much because tonight is a lot of questions. I hope you learned something. Thank you. See you next time.